Hey everyone, welcome back. We're going to talk about something really cool today. It's that whole process of taking a brilliant idea, just a spark, and actually turning it into a real product that you can hold in your hands. So let's get right into it.
Seriously, have you ever just stopped and wondered about that? I mean, think about anything, a new gadget, even your favorite snack. There's this massive journey between that first what if moment and you clicking add to cart. So, how does that actually happen? How do companies make sure that great idea doesn't just get lost somewhere along the way? Well, the secret isn't some kind of magic. It's actually a plan, and a really, really good one at that. Don't think of it as some boring, stuffy document. It's much more like a detailed treasure map? It's what guides you from point A to point B, helps you sidestep all the pitfalls, and leads you right to a successful launch. All right, so let's dive into this map. Our journey is basically broken down into 6 key stages. First, we got to chart the course. Then we take that idea and turn it into a prototype. After that, we'll be marking our milestones, fueling the whole expedition, navigating some potentially dangerous waters, and finally, figuring out if we were successful. Okay, so first things first. Before you even think about taking a single step, you have got to know exactly where you're headed, right? In product development, that just means defining your main goal, getting a really clear, big picture view of the entire project. And at the heart of that is something called the core value proposition. This is your North Star. It's the one single, clear reason your product needs to exist. It's the answer to why should anyone pick this over something else. And I mean every single decision, from a tiny choice about a button color to a huge marketing spend, it all has to point back to this. It's what keeps the whole team marching in the same direction. All right, now we get to what is, for me anyway, the most exciting part. This is where that abstract idea in your head starts to become a real physical thing. It's that magic leap from a thought to an actual object. But look, this isn't just some chaotic sprint to the finish line. It's a series of really well-defined steps, and they're designed to stop you from making super costly mistakes. You start with the fun part, brainstorming, but then you've got to do your homework. That's market research, to make absolutely sure you're building something people will actually want. Then you design it, build a first draft or a prototype, get feedback on it, and only then do you even think about a full launch. You see? Each step proves the last one was a good idea. A project that's going to take 6 months or even a year, that can feel like a total marathon. It's so easy to just lose steam. And that's exactly why the best roadmaps break that huge journey down into a bunch of shorter sprints. And each sprint has a clear finish line. We call them milestones. So for example, look at this. Each one of these is a huge win, right? Getting the concepts locked in, getting the prototype signed off, finding a manufacturing partner. These are way more than just dates on a calendar. They're critical checkpoints that tell you, hey, we're on track, the project is healthy, we're moving forward. And honestly, they're amazing for keeping the team's spirits up. Okay, so no expedition, I don't care how great your map is going to get very far without fuel. And in the world of product development, your fuel is your resources. We're talking about your people, your tools, and yeah, of course, your money. And figuring out how to use them wisely, that's absolutely critical.
Now, what's really interesting about this chart is how it visualizes the project's real priorities. Just look at that. 40% of the entire budget is going to marketing. That's a huge strategic bet. It's basically saying, it doesn't matter how amazing our product is if nobody knows about it. And seeing it laid out like this, it forces you to have those tough conversations and make very conscious decisions about where to put your money and effort to get the biggest bang for your buck.
All right, let's be real. Every journey is going to have some potential storms. A smart captain doesn't just cross their fingers and hope for good weather. They prepare for the rough seas they know are coming. It's the exact same idea here. A truly great product roadmap looks ahead, anticipates what could go wrong, and makes a plan for it before it happens. And look, this is not about being negative or pessimistic. It's about being resilient. So take a super common risk, like a delay in your supply chain. The plan isn't to just sit around and wait for it to happen. No. The plan is to proactively go out and find backup suppliers before you ever need them. It's exactly this kind of planning that turns what could be a project-ending catastrophe into just a manageable bump in the road. So you did it. You launched. That's amazing. Congratulations. But the journey isn't quite over yet. The very last step is to look back and ask that tough question. Did we actually reach our destination? Because success isn't just about getting the product out the door. It's about launching it well.
And your success metrics, they have to be super, super specific. It is not enough to just say, we hope we stay on budget. A really solid goal is to say, we will aim for less than a 5% budget variance. Why? Because a single powerful number like this one, it creates real accountability. It gives you a crystal clear definition of what on budget actually means.
And this brilliantly illustrates how you build the complete picture. You combine multiple key performance indicators, or KPIs. So yeah, you're tracking if you are on time and on budget, but you're also looking at crucial things like customer readiness, which is just a fancy way of asking how aware and excited were people before we even launched. Looking at a full dashboard like this is really the only way you're going to get a true, honest look at how successful the project really was. So let's just end with the key question from the source material itself. And really, this is the question you should be asking about your own big ideas. It sums up the whole journey perfectly. Is the timeline realistic? Are the resources aligned with the plan? And is the whole thing structured to actually ensure a successful launch? If you can get those three things right, well, then you are well on your way from just an idea to a full-blown launch.